Good morning, it's Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We're looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Thursday the 14th of January. Looking at Bitcoin against the US dollar and the hourly candlesticks, bullish start to the day here. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid the pivot at 35,857 to take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 39,277. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break through to 39,000 levels, however. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 40,000 to limit any upside. In the event of an extended rally, Bitcoin could test the second major resistance level at 41,197 before any pullback. A fall through the pivot level would bring the first major support level sitting at 33,937 and the 23.6% fib at 33,008 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should continue to avoid sub 30,000 levels. Second major support level at 35,117 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, we've got a slight narrowing of the bullish histograms, but nothing suggestive of a bearish day ahead. On the EMAs, we're seeing the 50 narrow in on the 200 and the 100, suggestive of further upside through the morning. And we're seeing the 100 pull away from the 200, both bullish indicators. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 35,857 and break through to 39,000 levels to then target 40,000 levels. Moving across Ethereum against US dollar, relatively bullish start today. Going to need to Ethereum avoid the pivot at 1083 to take a run at the first major resistance level, saying at 1186. Going to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from this morning's high and through to 1150 levels. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 1200 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Ethereum take a run at 1350 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1241. A fall through the pivot would bring the 23.6% fib at 1051 and the first major support level at 1028 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should steer well clear of the second major support level sitting at 925. Looking at the MACDs, no narrowing of the bullish histogram there, supporting the early upside at the start of the day. On the EMAs, we're seeing the 50 close in on the 200 and the 100, suggestive of further upside through the morning. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 1083, break through to 1150 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, relatively bullish start. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid a fall through the pivot at 140.5 to take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 155.3. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break back through the 23.6% fib at 148 and through to 150 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Litecoin test resistance at 170 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 163.1. A fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 132.7 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should steer clear of the second major support level at 117.9. 38.2% fib at 125 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, got a slight narrowing of the bullish histograms, supporting this early pullback, having seen some upside early on. On the EMAs, however, we are seeing the 50 narrow in marginally on the 100 and the 200, suggestive of a possible move northwards. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 140.5, break back through the 23.6% fib, and move through to 150s to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, it's been a mixed start to the morning with Ripple's XRP hitting reverse. Need to avoid the pivot at 0.2999 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 0.3157. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to move through to 0.31 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and the 23.6% fib at 0.3172 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ripple's XRP test resistance at 0.33 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.3257. A fall through the pivot level would bring the first major support level sitting at 0.2899 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 0.28 levels. Second major support level sits at 0.2740. Looking at the MACD, we've got a narrowing of the bullish histograms, and there could be a possible bearish cross, so keep an eye on that through the early part of the morning. On the EMAs, however, we've seen the 50 move away from the 200 and close in on the 100, so we could see a bullish cross there. So keep an eye on that through the morning as well. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fall through the pivot at 0.2999 and move through to 0.31 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play.